Colorado flood death toll rises vertical line World News vertical line TheGuardian.com. Turn autoplay off. Turn autoplay on. Please activate cookies in order to turn autoplay off. Jump to content S. Jump to site navigation 0. Jump to search for. Terms and conditions 8. Edition, UK USO. Your activity. Email subscriptions. Account details. Linked services. Profile mobile. About us. About us. Australia team. Contact us. FAQs. Press office. Jobs. Terms of service. Privacy policy. Advertising guide. Guardian Weekly. Subscribe. How to subscribe. Guardian Weekly. Email services. Evany. Android. .gsc Control CSE width 25 rem exclamation point important. Padding 0. Float right. Input.gsc search button background color. Number sign PDDDD. Border color. Number sign PDDDD. Input.gsc search button hover background color. Number 999. Border color. Number 999. News. World. Sport. Comment. Culture. Business. Environment. Science. Travel. Technology. Life and style. Data. TV. Video. News. World news. Colorado. Colorado flood death toll rises. 4 people have died in worst floods to hit state in decades, with 80 people still unaccounted for. Share. Tweet this. Email. Reuters in Boulder. TheGuardian.com. Saturday, September 14, 2013 15.16 AST. Flood waters and a washed-out road next to a suburban neighborhood in Leon, Colorado. Photograph. John Wark / Reuters. National Guard troops in Colorado plucked stranded residents out of danger by helicopter and hauled them out of a flooded community in military trucks on Friday as the death toll from the worst floods to hit the state in decades rose to 4, with 80 people still unaccounted for. Taking advantage of a break in torrential rains that have unleashed floodwaters up and down the state, Guard members rumbled into the hard-hit town of Leon through waist-high water and went door to door to pull out up to 2,000 trapped residents. These individuals are not only coming with just themselves, but with their suitcases and their precious household items along with their pets and everything, all getting loaded in the back of these vehicles, said First Lieutenant Sky Robinson, a spokesman for the Colorado National Guard. Elsewhere in the state, search and rescue teams used helicopters to hoist about 200 residents to safety one by hovering over flooded areas because there was no place to land after raging waters washed out roads and inundated farmland. The flooding, so intense it toppled buildings in some places, began overnight Wednesday. It was triggered by unusually heavy late summer storms that drenched Colorado's biggest urban centers, from Fort Collins near the Wyoming border south through Boulder, Denver and Colorado Springs. Boulder and a string of other towns along the so-called Front Range of the Rockies north of Denver were especially hard hit as water poured down rain-soaked mountains and spilled through canyons that funnel the runoff into populated areas. Leon, north of Boulder, was virtually cut off when floodwaters washed out U.S. Route 36, and residents have been without water and power for 48 hours, said Mike Banguelos, a spokesman for the Boulder County Emergency Operations Center. At least 4 people were killed, including a couple swept away in floodwaters after stopping their car northwest of Boulder. The man's body was recovered on Thursday and the woman had been missing and feared dead before her body was found on Friday. Also killed were a person whose body was found in a collapsed building near Jamestown, an evacuated enclave north of Boulder, and a man in Colorado Springs, about 100 miles to the south, officials said. The Boulder Office of Emergency Management listed 80 people as unaccounted for following the floods, stressing that while they were not yet considered missing or in danger, relatives and authorities had not been able to contact them. Authorities said many western mountain communities remained isolated with no potable water or working septic systems. In rural Weld County, where the South Platte River overflowed its banks and virtually cut the county in half, aerial TV footage showed large stretches of land covered in brown water. Many homes and farms were largely half-submerged. Weld County Sheriff's spokesman Steve Reams said nearly every road in and around a cluster of towns that includes Greeley,